Snowbirds, the world famous, as we welcome you inside the arena this afternoon. The notorious city, even Mac the Moose on location here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. And you talk about the Snowbirds, well, Korea and the USA ready to fly here this afternoon. Canada rolling as well. The big matchup comes tomorrow night here in Moose Jaw as we get a look inside the arena. There it is, Korea and the USA from beautiful Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. And the Americans, their final tune-up before the big matchup with the Canadians, the hometown Canadians, tomorrow night. Jamie Neugebauer alongside Darren DuPont. Jamie, this is a bit, we're looking at these games. We saw what Canada did yesterday, the big win. This is the final tune-up for the Americans before they'll meet the Canadians.
Well, Darren, they're paying attention. They watched Canada put up a 15 spot on the Koreans yesterday, and the Americans are the number one team in the world. They do not want the Canadians to have anything over them. For the Koreans, of course, Darren, they're playing for their country. They're playing for pride. They're not here to get thumped. They're here to learn, but they're here to grow. And you know what? I feel like they probably took last night a little seriously, a little personally. We'll see if we see a different Korea today.
Canada will be on the ice a little bit later, and the Canadian names are all over the tournament leading goal scorers early on right now, but we expect some Americans to jump up that list this afternoon.
Yeah, we don't see any Declan Farmer, we don't see any Brody Roybal on this list just yet for Team USA, but we expect we will. You and I have seen Yifeng Shen, what he's been doing in that B group, really, really impressive. Two big goal scoring games for him, but Darren, know you paid attention from home. Daniela and I got to see the Dominic Cozzolino show. He was amazing with Dunn, and very, very interesting crew as you get a look at the USA coach David Huff from Bottineau, North Dakota, just on the Manitoba border. So he was able to go home, in fact, during this tournament, earlier in the tournament, only about 4.5 hours drive or so from where we sit right now. And Tai-Ho Kim brought his Korean team to Canada before the tournament for a pre-tournament game, a camp against Canada and with Canada. And he's here to learn, he's here to teach, and he's here to help the Korean para-hockey get better ahead of the 2026 Paralympic Games in Italy. Very interesting, and it's always special, Darren, when we get to see the best team in the world.
Referee this afternoon is Matt Fergenbaum. He's Canadian. Dylan Dolphines, the Canadian linesman, and Lori Nichila from Finland, the other linesman working the contest this afternoon, as we are ready to go. The Americans in their dark navies. There's Korea in white. Korea's final game of the round robin. But it's Dodson for the U.S. Up ahead, McKee into the slot, and the Koreans will relieve the pressure. Great feed. Up ahead for Dongshin Chan. Chan into the corner, takes a hard bump from Christopher Douglas. The puck comes back to the blue line. Yong Sok Cho put it on goal, and it's going to be stopped and held on to. Starting goaltender is Griffin Lemaire for the Americans here this afternoon. And down at the other end, Daehun Poon, but get a look at this chance from Korea early on.
Yeah, great start here, Darren, for the Koreans. As much as you can say you're here for development and growth, you don't want to be losing 15-1. That doesn't help anybody, but the USA with two very capable goaltenders in Lemaire, and of course, maybe the best in the world in Jen Lee, who stopped 9 of 10 last time out against the Czechs. And Lemaire makes his debut here today.
Mustanek up ahead for Farmer. Declan Farmer now working in with a quick feed for Jones, and he just ripped it up over top of the net. Good early chance from the Americans, and the puck tied up on the side of the goal. U.S. comes away with it. Into the slot, they score. Opening shot and the opening goal. Declan Farmer walked out of the corner. It's 1-0 for the USA.
And Declan Farmer, by his standards, Darren, a little bit below the radar against Czechia, and USA's opening game 7-1 win. But he gets the scoring started, just a shark in the middle of the ice. 40 points ahead of anybody in the history of para hockey is Declan Farmer, and he shows why. It's his second of the tournament. Expect him to play a big role the rest of the way for Team USA. Declan Farmer, 135 career or 36 career para hockey goals for Team USA right now.
Wallace can't hold the puck in at the blue line. Jack Wallace trying to go to the back door. Brett Bolton was charging hard, couldn't get there. Wallace now, right wing corner. Wallace making a move. Call now. Going to go against the Koreans. So it looks like Inchol Yu will head off here. And the Americans will get their first opportunity in the power play.
Yeah, it was a real disciplined performance by Czechia against the USA in the USA's opening game. Only 3 power plays for the Americans in that game. So the Americans only a goal on 3 opportunities, but you know they're going to be deadly. You give them opportunities, you're in big trouble.
Wallace now. Jack Wallace's shot that stopped. The rebound was there. Farmer couldn't get to it. Puts it in wide of the goal now. Americans will get that power play going. Comes back up to Jack Wallace in the slot. Oh, right off the goalpost. Puck loose in the high slot, trying to get it tied up. And finally, Dae-Hun Poong will cover this puck. We'll get a face-off, but a great chance and a goal post for the Americans early.
Dae-Hun Poong, big smiles after yesterday's game. He was great for Korea despite the scoreline, and a little good to be lucky to be good. Here's Jack Wallace out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, with a bullet just short side off the post. USA comes close.
Joshua Mischwitz won that face-off. Behind the net, it's Farmer. Back up to the blue line for Wallace. His shot blocked on the way through. Josh Paul's first on it for the Americans. Takes a hard bump from Soon Hung Jung. Jones feathered it free. Korea will intercept that. And all the way down the ice off the stick of Jung. Americans on the power play for 1:05 seconds. Mischwitz couldn't find it. Farmer does. Oh, tried to chip it forward. Nice defensive play by Dong Shin Shan. American captain Josh Pauls plays it to the left for Jack Wallace. Wallace with Farmer going to the net. Wallace tried to feather it out in front. He's so nifty with the stick. That's intercepted and cleared back out to center ice. 41 seconds remaining on the American power play. Farmer now with some speed to center ice. Taking it wide left, being watched there by Cho. Slipped it through the slot, comes back out the other side. Mischwitz will hold it in. Top of the circle to the left side for Jack Wallace. And he'll backhand it into the corner. First on it for the Americans. Travis Dodson in the corner. One-on-one with Kung Moon Shin. Up at the line, that pass miscommunication, trying to find Noah Grove, who was coming off the American bench. Final 5 seconds of the power play. It's a great test for the Koreans. Their first penalty kill was a strong one defensively and an early win for them. Now backdoor feed. Circling through the crease, but well in front of that pass was Joshua Mischwitz. Korea to the line, and it will come out to center ice. You know the Americans will press, Jamie, but the Koreans, nice job defensively protecting the front of the net.
Yeah, did a great job, and the big thing for the Koreans, especially penalty kill, be disciplined, don't over pursue, because when you can block shots, you can kill penalties.
Here comes Travis Dodson, puts it off the outside of the goal. Kevin McKee, number 88, was in back of the net, and he's got the puck now, the side door. Nifty stick handling. Behind the net, it's Grove. Grove in front. Douglas couldn't get the shot away. And 3 Korean players on the puck, and it's Jung who comes away with it to the blue line. Not out. Held in momentarily. Now Korea will relieve a little bit of pressure and try and complete a line change at the same time. Americans, they completed a line change. Brandon Adam in the corner. Back up top. Long shot in from Pauls. Was blocked on the way through. Josh Pauls In back of the net, Adam was turning the other way. Pinching in, Evan Nichols from the blue line. Plays it to the front of the net. It's loose and hung on to by Dae-Hoon Pung for the stop. Just about 5 minutes into this period, the Americans have the lone goal, but the Koreans locking things up defensively here in Moose Jaw.
Culligan Water isn't just a name. It's a promise to put you and your loved ones first. Because with cleaner, softer water, you can feel confident about your water. Culligan Water has been the local water expert since 1936, when we pioneered the water softener. We've continued delivering unmatched service by meeting you where you are, whether it's where you live or where you work. And your satisfaction has always been our greatest reward. But that's not all. Culligan Water offers a responsible and economical alternative to the waste created from single-use plastic bottles. Our systems make it easier to preserve the planet, its landscapes, and its oceans. Because at the heart of everything Culligan Water does is a commitment to provide better water for a better world.
It's right in front. Quick scramble off the face-off. It's down in the corner. Korea now trying to get control and relieve a little bit of this early pressure as we welcome you back inside here in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, the home of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships here on day 3. Americans with an early 1-0 lead here in the first period on a goal from Declan Farmer. And it's 2-0 on a quick chance right in front off the sidewall. Just past the 5-minute mark, and the Americans extend the lead.
Yeah, Evan Nichols with the goal, I believe. And taking it out in front. And how about this? 2004 birth year out of Virginia. Plays in the Pittsburgh Mighty Penguins system. And you talk about the USA, they're just always bringing great young talent in as well. It's not just hanging on to the old guys. They give young guys plenty of opportunity. And the 18-year-old getting the goal right there, Evan Nichols, in his first World Hockey Championships.
USA was unable to capitalize on their first power play opportunity, and it looked like a harmless play for Nichols, but that shows you the skating ability. He just makes one little move, and unexpectedly almost, I don't know if the Koreans expected him to take that puck right to the front of the net, but he just did and scored, and neatly it's 2-0.
Yeah, and the Koreans with a really good start to this game. Got a great chance right off the hop, killed the penalty really well. And then one kind of half chance, as you said, Darren Pung, I think, was expecting Nichols to go upstairs in that situation. Kind of knuckled it, and it went low instead. Kind of confused Pong and went in.
Well, we got a good look at that Korean bench there on the last stoppage, and their coach, Tae-Ho Kim. And, you know, for Korea, what you're trying to accomplish here ahead of the quarters, and, you know, potentially what can you do to avoid the 7-8 game and little victories. Here's a scramble in front. Who's going to get a stick on it? Finally, it's sent out there by Shin. Poon Moon Shin of the Koreans got the puck out to center ice, but Americans again. Farmer. The lane opened right up, and a huge stop there by Poon. He dove to his left and stopped Declan Farmer point blank. More from the Americans now. Pauls in front for Farmer. Oh, behind his back with the nifty pass. Couldn't hook up with Joshua Mitchwitz. Now Grove from the blue line is all the way down into the corner. Grove. Good protection of the puck for Mitchwitz. A shot. And that right off the front of the pad of Dae-Hoon Pung. Good stick handling. Mitchwitz again for Jones. Jones walking right in. Waits. Shoots. Scores. A rocket from Malik Jones. He made one move to his right, stick handled it back left, and then roofed it upstairs. It's 3-0.
And the Americans just have a chemistry that it doesn't matter what sport, Darren, when you see chemistry, you know it, and the Americans with an absolutely beautiful goal, and Jones into about 4 white jerseys just kind of found his way through them, and left shot, Pung, again, not expecting it at the highest levels, this USA team, all sorts of guys who can shoot right, who can shoot left, and that just completely doubles the difficulty level for any goalie. And what a beautiful finish there by Malik Jones, his second of the tournament.
Three 3-0, the Americans with the lead, looking for more. A shot that grazes up over top of the net. Christopher Douglas with the great scoring chance. Now Jack Wallace into the slot, right off the goal post. That was square off the post. Another chance now. And Eustace. Jack Wallace now protecting the puck, trying to bank it in off the goaltender. Won't be able to. Little support here. Koreans hemmed in their own zone, having trouble clearing. Now spinning off some pressure. Sunhoon Jung. And it's out to center ice. Inside 7 minutes to go here in the opening period. Eustace now driving in, and Pung will jump out of the net and hang on to that.
And getting a sense, really, Darren, of why the Americans are the #1 ranked team in the world. They can find each other. They throw pucks into space and know that their teammates are going to be there. And if you're not just looking to go tape to tape constantly, if you can put it into space and use your speed that way, then it's an even better or next level way to play. Layers upon layers of how to play in post-saving Korea from USA's goal number 4.
Chance right in front. Koreans doing a decent job protecting the front of the net. Brett Bolton now on it for the Americans. For Brody Adam, or Brandon Adam, pardon me, to the front of the net, just out of the reach of Bolton, who was sitting on the back door. Now Nichols for Bolton. Bolton lost it behind him for a second. Puck squeaks into the corner for Brandon Adam. Adam back out to the blue line for Grove. Grove shoots, and that shot was stopped by Pung. Right wing corner. Nifty stick handling in on goal. Another save from Pung. Puck comes to the blue line, but not out. Noah Grove holds it in. Lost it off the end of his stick. Korea can't clear, and now on a hand pass, the play will be blown dead. Just inside 6 minutes to go here in period number 1. The Americans have added a couple. They lead Korea 3-0 here in the second game of day 3 at the World Para Ice Hockey Championship.
Got another parking ticket. Play 92, #1 for throwbacks.
It's Kyler for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Back in Moose Jaw here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships, it's Darren Dupont alongside Jamie Neugebauer. The Americans leading the Koreans 3-0. The final round-robin game for the Koreans. Another chance here for the Americans, though. They continue to apply the pressure. Declan Farmer's shot deflected up and wide of the goal. USA is expected, #1 team in the world. And they're controlling the play here. Shots on goal, 5-1 in favor of the Americans. After this, the Koreans will have some time off. They have a complete day off on Thursday here at the event before the quarterfinals on Friday. And of course, later on tonight, it will be Canada and Czechia. Wallace now in the slot, and that shot was fought off by Dae-Hoon Pung. The Korean goaltender's been busy, but he's been sharp.
Real sharp, and his rebound control has been great as well.
It really has. Yeah, here's another chance for the Americans. Malik Jones, they're really patient. Back to Jack Wallace now. Wallace down low. It was off the stick of Chun Young Lee. Farmer back to the blue line. Christopher Douglas left it there. Mischwitz trying to feather it through. Here's another chance. Backhand in front, Jones, but Pung is down and makes another big save to keep the Americans at bay.
Really nice little interchange between Jones and Wallace along the right boards on your computer screen or television screen there. That created some space, and the Americans so good at drawing defenders into them, creating space for their teammates, and Jones going straight to the blue paint where you score goals in any level of hockey. And the Americans, not just to the outside, they're very aggressive going straight to the front of the net so far today.
4:11 to go in the first period. It's been all USA. David Eustace circling back. A lane is opened up to the net. Dishes it down low. Backdoor feed. Unable to get a clean stick on it was Kevin McKee. Into the slot now. Eustace waits. Centers it. Nice pass. Tap in goal. Travis Dodson. 4-0 USA.
And Travis Dodson, one of the longtime veterans for this Team USA, had a hat trick against the Czechians in the first game, and this might be the easiest goal of his career, as Eustace, with some patience, some unselfishness, puts it back door. And I should say, Darren, we got to do some housekeeping, of course. The Americans can clinch their spot in the semis with a win. The Koreans would be guaranteed to be in the quarterfinal if they lose. Remember, Group A play, all four teams are guaranteed to at least make the playoffs, and so the Koreans will likely finish in fourth. This is their last game of the group stage, and play whoever wins Group B in the group stage.
Puck to the blue line. Held in. Down low, it's Brandon Adam now as the Americans try and find more before the end of the period. Back to Josh Pauls. He can't play it forward. Korea to the blue line, but not out. Evan Nichols. Now Pauls. Continuing to battle in the corner. Noah Grove drew the second assist on that goal from Dodson. So it goes as Dodson from Eustace and Grove. More here from the U.S. Josh Pauls back to the line. Just out of the reach of Declan Farmer, but he catches up to that puck. Farmer in the corner, head up, looking at options. Now plays it out in front, but that backdoor pass squeaks all the way out to the neutral zone. Now a centering feed. Breakaway backdoor pass, and that missed the mark. Tried to find Malik Jones on the back door. Joshua Mischwitz and Malik Jones 2-on-0. Now Jack Wallace turning at the blue line. Sends it across for Declan Farmer. He's got to catch up to that puck and does. Farmer now weighing his options. Oh, nifty stick handling. Can he move the puck or what? With the Koreans. Nice play to strip control and then flipping it into their own bench here with 1:49 to play in the first period.
Yeah, some mitts by Declan Farmer, pardon me, as Americans got this one in the middle of the ice. Misowitz backdoor for Malik Jones, and bet on him getting his second, the Colorado Avalanche player. Yes, the NHL teams have done a great job, Darren, of investing in sledge hockey, especially in the States, and Colorado one of them, and Malik Jones representing his home state and the Avalanche, and boy, what a talent he looks like so far in this one. Wow.
USA Hockey is a real tour de force when it comes to the para ice hockey game, as another shot was stopped by the Korean goaltender Poon. there is so much happening, and a strong reason why this is the #1 team in the world. Now, in the corner, trying to find more here. Centering feed. And it's out to center ice. I mean, look at these teams. The Colorado Avalanche, the New Jersey Freeze, the Pittsburgh Mighty Penguins, the Boston Bruins, the St. Louis Blues. Like, it is cool to see hockey in the U.S. really evolve. As a shot is upstairs. Josh Paul's into the corner, and it's 5-0.
And Josh Paul's, Darren, in his, believe it, listen to this, his 8th World Championships. Upstairs where Mama hides the cookies. Hadn't found the score sheet just yet, but the defenseman snuck in there, and with a bullet, the Americans so free to be aggressive. Their D interchanging with their forwards. Saw a big cycle game, kind of a 5-man unit. Kind of reminds me of the Soviets in the Summit Series back in the day. Just a lot of interchange in forwards and D-men. And Josh Paul's in his 8th. Gets his first goal of the tournament. And the USA in flight here in this one.
Impressive stuff. 8 World Championships. As the puck to the Korean goaltender, and he'll hang on. Our producer, Clark Monroe, in my ear just a moment ago, as I'm going through some of these U.S. para-hockey programs that are so closely tied to the NHL. And his favorite, he wants to point out, is the Nashville Sled Preds. The Sledge Preds. Like, how cool is that? Probably my favorite now, too.
I love a rhyme. I love the OGs as well, and I spoke a lot to Declan Farmer. We had a really good, about half an hour, hour-long conversation a couple days ago, the great American forward, and he said that actually, despite the fact that it's not necessarily a winter sports paradise, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the state of Florida really kind of kick-started the USA Sledge program, and other teams have followed suit, but yeah, absolutely. USA Hockey is so good at so many things, and clearly this program is one of them.
Brett Bolton had a chance just a moment ago into the final 15 seconds. Korea trying to find something here late. 6 seconds. The USA intend to work this puck around the wall, and they'll run out the final moments of the opening period. Korea was hanging in early, playing great defensive hockey, getting some timely saves, but the American offense too much through 20 or through 15 minutes of play. 5-0. It's the USA leading Korea. Live from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. It's the World Para Ice Hockey Championships through 20 minutes. The second period will be on the way shortly.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Like a mirrored reflection, I have to steer you in the right direction. I have to trust that we can find a way.
On every trip, you can depend on Esso to be the place between places, connecting you to what's next.
Good morning! So I got another Parkson ticket. Play 92, #1 for throwbacks.
It's Connor for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything, all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming, GEO satellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask?
Hello? Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do? Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
in his first Paralympic Games for Canada. Here comes James Dunn with his first Paralympic goal. Like he's been doing it all his life.
Fresh, clean sheet of ice here in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada, at the Event Center, Korea, and the USA. It's the Americans with the 5-0 lead over Korea through 20 minutes of play. Alongside Jamie Neugebauer, I'm Darren Dupont. What impresses you the most about this American team, Nugsy?
For me, it's the chemistry, Darren. You know, you've been around sports a lot of times. You got to trust your teammates. You got to know that if you vacate a spot, that somebody else is going to come into that spot. And the Americans,
yes,
they seem to know where each other are. They find each other so well.
They really do. For Korea, I thought a good start. Their lone shot on goal came early. It was a good scoring chance. Americans had to be on their heels a little bit. They were a little sharp. Korea was sharp early, played good defensively, kept this game close, but the more the period went along, the Americans got stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, remember the Koreans played late last night too, so there's maybe an energy factor.
Yes.
And on the highlights, we're going to see a lot of American puck movement, a lot of American opportunities, and Daehan Pong was under siege for a lot of that period as the Americans got their chemistry going, got their mojo going, moving pucks around extremely well. Sure, you could call an American defenseman a defenseman, an American forward a forward if you want, but they're very fluid and they'll move up. Their D will be part of the attack. They're a 5-man unit every time they're out there, and we got a taste of the depth of the Americans as well. One of the differences that I see between this American team and maybe even Canada and then the other countries for sure is some of those other countries have a top line. This American team has 3 or 4 top lines led by that man Declan Farmer, who is weaving magic, scored his second of the tournament. It's been a real team performance so far by the Americans. Really difficult for the Koreans to stop, and one way they can deal with it is maybe they're gonna dump some pucks out, use the glass a little bit more instead of trying to force it up the middle. But the Americans have been on them on the forecheck really fast, generating opportunities just like this, and it's been a real battle. Daehan Pong certainly been a star, just like he was yesterday, making 9 very good saves for Korea. Could have been worse, the score, but the Americans happy with the 5 spot. They haven't messed around. They haven't fooled around. They want to score as many as they can, Darren, today, because goal difference could be a factor in this tournament.
Yeah, it really could. U.S. is so strong moving the puck. Korea's done a great job defensively, and their goaltender, Dae-Hoon Pung, has done a nice job too. Made some really big stops. But when you take a look at how that period went, and you saw Josh Paul's goal upstairs with a great shot. 14 shots for the Americans in that period. They were 0 for 1 on the power play, but the big one, 5 goals for USA in the first period. Of course, the final tune-up for the Americans before that match with Canada tomorrow night. All eyes will be on that one, and I'm sure expecting quite a big crowd too here in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that far from the USA. Of course, talked about the USA coach David Hoff from North Dakota, able to go home and have a trip to North Dakota. The USA, they're here. They said, and I spoke to Coach Hoff before the tournament, that they can't play the Canada game before they play the Czechia and Korea game, but they'd be lying if they weren't taking aim at Wednesday night and wiping some smiles off of Canadian faces, as they have. It's been a while since Canada has beaten this American team, and the Americans have 5 world's golds and 5 Paralympic golds, and want to keep that streak going.
Well, it was a 7-1 win over Czechia in the American opener. As this puck is cleared out and down the ice, Byung-Sak Cho is in pursuit right now. Nifty play by Christopher Douglas to reverse direction and start the breakout. Hard hit there from Soon Hung Jung. Now, breakout feed. Wallace walking right in, and he rips it over top of the net. Jack Wallace has been all over the ice for the Americans so far this afternoon. Now McKee walking in. His shot fought off and stopped. Rebound controlled by Malik Jones before being stripped of the puck. Jones, though, is going to get to this inside the blue line with Declan Farmer going to the high slot. That play intercepted. Now with some speed. Soon Hung Jung walking right in, and that shot was stopped. Didn't get a clean shot off. Good defensive play. But Griffin Lemaire has not been busy. Just the second shot his way.
And good hard check there as the most dangerous Korean scored a gorgeous goal yesterday. In fact, did Seungwon Jung scored a goal there and dangled a couple Canadians and sniped top corner yesterday. Got the crowd going, maybe more than even Canadian goals. Let that crowd going for the Koreans. And Jung, a couple goals at the 22 Paralympics as well. Dangerous guy if you give him the right opportunity.
Now a feed in. Mischwitz, left wing side, drops the puck off for Farmer. Made a move to the left, and now Poong will drop down and get a glove on this and hang on as Declan Farmer went from the right hand to the left hand and couldn't quite find a clean shot.
Yeah, Declan, again, exerting himself. But again, speaking to him, he's such a team guy. I asked him, how do you respond to the question, are you the best player in the world? Are you the best player ever? And he doesn't even answer the question, really. He just said, we have guys who are the best at this. We have guys who are the best at that. I'm the best at something. We're just a puzzle that fits perfectly together. And it was a great answer and a humble answer to the question. And really enjoyed talking to him. Very thoughtful, smart young man too. And yeah, I loved his answer there. We're just a puzzle that fits together, and that's really what we've been seeing from the USA so far in this one.
Declan Farmer is going to go to the penalty box here for interference. So Korea will get their first chance in the power play just ahead of the 2-minute mark here.
And the Koreans 0 for 5 with the power play so far in this game, and the Americans only one power play against by the Czechians yesterday, so they were 1 for 1.
Korea winning the faceoff. Long shot in, and that was stopped by Lemaire. Loose scramble,
please.
But a great shot on goal. And that's the best scoring chance, I think, from Korea so far.
And you mentioned it. Like, what is Korea trying to accomplish here? Well, the biggest thing they're trying to accomplish is to get ready for that quarterfinal and be at their best, feel good. And you can't be at your best and you can't feel good if you don't have any confidence. And having a good power play here could be really a big piece in them having confidence and gaining some momentum. Sure to try to crawl back into this game, but who doesn't want to whip it around and have a little fun, try to score some goals? They're here to compete. They're not just here to make up the numbers. And good opportunity for them to do that.
Korea out shooting the Americans 3-1, but here's a chance they score. Short-handed goal. Eustace pounced on the loose puck, and it's 6-0 after such a great start to the period from Korea. I was just saying they were leading the shots in this period, out shooting the Americans 3-1, but just like that, David Eustace jumping on the puck, extending the lead.
Yeah, Eustace, another guy that demonstrates the diversity of location for this American team out of San Francisco, California, and the 6th different American scorer to put the puck in the net. Canadians got a lot from Cozzolino. They got a lot from Dixon. Sure, a lot of Canadians got in on the act, but really this is a team performance by the Americans. 6 different goal scorers so far, Darren.
See how the Koreans respond. Right now, Jones will clear this for the Americans. Now they'll send it right back in. But this is an icing call against Korea with 57 seconds remaining on their power play.
And there is North York, Ontario native Matt Fergenbaum. I used to work really closely with Matt in my days broadcasting junior hockey in Ontario, and he was there and saw me up here working, and I saw him down there working, and he sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm in Moose Jaw, refereeing these games. I see you up there." I'm like, hey, it's been years. So great to see Fergie, and it was a great ref in the OJHL and continues to work there in the Ontario Hockey League too.
One of 2 Canadian officials working today's game. Fergenbaum, the referee, the Canadian, obviously the Ontario Canada, and Dylan Dauphiny, the other Canadian linesman. So a couple Canadians working this U.S.-Korea game, and that's the hockey in Canada, the ties that bind across this country from coast to coast, and you never forget a face that you see at the hockey rink.
Absolutely. And he also made sure that I pointed out that was Lauri Nittila, the linesman's birthday a couple days ago too. The now 30-year-old from Finland. One of the linesmen again today, as you get a look at Taiho Kim, and brand new coach for this Korean team, trying to rebuild their program. Lost in the bronze medal game in the 22 Paralympics, and you know they want a rematch against the Chinese in that quarterfinal. They're hungry for it.
Jones, whoa, takes a huge hit from In-Kung Kim. More from the Americans. They're back to even now as Farmer walks in, plays it short side, off the outside of the net. Farmer walking out now, trying to play that in front for Jones. That was poked free. Korea will clear the zone, but what a hit from In-Kung Kim. We'll see if the physical play is going to continue here in the second period. Malik Jones for Josh Pauls. Now to Declan Farmer off the end of his stick. In front, don't save, and not the rebound. 7-0. Declan Farmer jumps all over it, and nothing that Dae Hoon Pung could do on that one.
Yeah, nothing, as Declan Farmer with a big smile loves to score goals. It's his second of the game. First American to double it up. Going hard to the front of the net, followed it up, and you mentioned the big Korean hits. They've been trying to hit these Americans the last couple of minutes, and throughout the second period especially. That's the scouting report really on these Koreans. They love to play the physical, heavy brand of hockey, but it's actually pulled them out of position a couple of times in this period.
They're going to take a look at this. Malik Jones, and great job by our guys in the truck. If we could get another look at this. Malik Jones was driving hard to the net, and might there be goaltender interference on this play? There's Jones going through and then takes the goaltender out, doesn't give him a chance to dive back. Nukesy, I think this goal's coming back.
I agree, yeah. Jones with a little extra push. You can see his right arm. Maybe if we could stop it, I could circle on the telestrator, just pause it right when Jones is in the goalie's face right there. You see it just right there. Little circle him there. Watch the push. Let it run there. And he gives him a little shove. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a good goal. Though, there was a goal that Canada scored last night that I thought maybe shouldn't have counted and did. But this one, I think, is really blatant there. And Matt Fergenbaum, I think he'll call this one back.
Well, they're having a good conversation upstairs. Tae-Ho Kim, the Korean coach, looking on. As if the goal stands, it would be 7-0.
Should say that
Americans.
This arena, pardon me, is really well equipped for video review. Of course, the Western Hockey League's Moose Jaw Warriors U20 hockey team plays in this rink, and there's video review in that rink. So Jones kind of pushes Pong out of the blue paint, and that's why the puck was sitting free and easy for the best player in the world to put it into the gaping 6x4 with some emphatic force. You see a hit there on Paul's in the corner. He was able to take the hit to make the play to throw it out in front that got the puck to Jones in the first place, but we'll see what the call is.
Coming up later on tonight, it will be Canada and Czechia here on all your streaming platforms. 7 p.m. local time, 9 o'clock Eastern. And we got a good goal. Okay. So they're going to let the goal stand. Tae-Ho Kim, he doesn't understand. And to be honest, I think he's got a case here.
Yeah, after, I think it was the 13th goal for Canada, something like that. They called it a good goal, and Daniela and I up in the booth here were unsure about it, but there you go. My buddy Fergie there making a big call. Declan Farmer, his second of the game and his 137th now as a USA player.
So see how Korea responds now after what was a really good start to the second period. Bolton will get onto this puck first for USA. Bolton turning back, trying to split between the Korean defense. All tied up. Back to the blue line. Jack Wallace will hold that puck, and now a long shot goes wide and out the other side. Grove will get the only assist, but you could give an unofficial assist to Jones going to the back door. 9:40 to go here in the second period. Now McKee drops it off to the line, not out, back to McKee, and just out of his reach. Good chance for Kevin McKee, the Chicago Blackhawks. Sledge hockey player. Now a long shot in from Grove, and that went up over top of the net. USA really starting to skate now in the second period. Grove working that puck back and forth, now on the wall. Travis Dodson. All kinds of time for Josh Pauls. Driving to the net and puts it wide. Dae-Hoon Pung was in good position. Americans will send it in and provide some pressure on the breakout. Long feed. That was just behind a spinning Chung Young Lee for Korea. Now Paul turns back as he allows Kung Moon Shin to go by on the other side. Now with speed, it's Grove. Grove driving in wide, drops it off, trying to find Eustace. Eustace spinning with room. That shot was blocked on the way through. Dong Shin Chan getting in the shooting lane. Now Farmer spinning with time and space to his left, and that goes off the crossbar. No, it's in. Off the back of the net, in and out. Declan Farmer's got the hat trick.
Yeah, nasty. Just nasty. 4 goals in the tournament, 3 here already today for the prohibitive best player in the world. What a snipe. That's the thing. I've talked about it a number of times, Darren. In this game, you can only be an elite shooter if you can do what Declan Farmer just did with your right hand and your left. Not too many in the world can do that. And the Koreans, of course, they know Declan Farmer. They've played him a plenty of times. This is the 7th time they've played each other in an official capacity over the last 6 years. And the USA have won every time. And a big finish by Declan Farmer, who, by the way, has his 36th goal at a Sled World Hockey Championships. And this is game number 29. So 36 goals in 29 games at a Worlds for Declan Farmer. Not a bad ratio.
Well, he's got the hat trick now. Is more pressure. Wallace sends it across. And Poong will make the save. Apologize. We got a goaltending change now for Korea, as Yuk-Jun Che is now into the game in goal.
And Che started yesterday against Canada. Made 5 saves out of 12. Allowed 7 goals on 12 shots before being pulled for Pong. Hard to blame any of these goalies. Saw like the talent on display from Canada and the USA so far in this. They've been focused. There's been no messing around. They've come here to make a statement.
On the side of the goal now. Che will make the save, and he'll hang on and cover up. 7:29 to go in the second period. Great start to the period for Korea, but the Americans continue to pour it on. Declan Farmer has a hat trick. It's 8-0 USA.
Kick off spring in style with new offers from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Costco is back, and eligible members can receive a $750 bonus on select trucks and full-size SUVs. Step into the powerful 2022 Chevy Silverado or 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 with low financing rates starting at 1.49% for up to 72 months. Drive in comfort and style with the versatile 2023 Equinox and 2023 Terrain, featuring standard heated seats, advanced safety features, and a modern infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Or opt for the spacious and refined 2023 Buick Enclave with standard all-wheel drive starting from as low as 2.99% financing. Don't miss out on these limited time offers. Visit us today to experience the thrill of driving a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC.
Welcome back to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. You got to look at the Korean goaltender Dae-Hoon Poong. Made some really big stops, but the Americans, number 1 in the world, and not entirely unexpected to be out to a big lead over Korea. So into the game, Hyuk-Jun Che in goal for Korea now in the second period.
And Poong was named the player of the game for Korea yesterday. Made 22 of 30 stops in relief, and big highlight for me was the smile that he gave when he was named player of the game. His smile lit up the arena, and just the attitude on him, clearly a great one. Seems like a great character, great personality for Korean para hockey.
Shot from Nichols just missed. Trying to go up high. Now Brandon Adams in a battle down low with Young Sung Kim. Coming away with that loose puck is Brett Bolton. Bolton in back of the net. Takes a bump from Dong-Shin Chan. Still more pressure. Brett Bolton trying to get that free. Left side. Dodson still on it. Now leaves it there. Douglas to the goal, and that's going to be stopped by Che. And he'll hang on with 6:11 to go in the second.
That was some neat goaltending by Che, because there were blue jerseys in his vicinity looking for a loose puck. He was able to hold this against his body and not have any leakage. Douglas looking low, hard, and far pad, trying to get something to pop out in front. Not an easy save. Looked easy, but not an easy one, especially not to give up a rebound. And great job by Che right there.
Puck comes back to the line. Jack Wallace will hold it in the circle. Feathers it forward. McKee was there, trying to provide a deflection. Race forward on the wall. Be held in by Douglas. Christopher Douglas giving chase in a battle with Intol Yu. Now McKee out of the net. Shot stopped by Che, who gets a shoulder on it. The puck goes out of play. And they're going to bring the face-off outside. So the face-off will be outside when we return in an 8-0 USA lead over Korea. The middle game here on day 3. Eustace, the shorthanded marker here in the second period, getting things going for the Americans. Second period, inside 6 minutes to go. The Americans have an 8-0 lead over Korea. Christopher Douglas on it now for the USA in what is the middle game of the 3-game set on day 3 here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. Douglas, long shot, scores! A seeing eye wrister from Christopher Douglas finds the top corner. 9-0.
And Eustace and Kyung Moon Shin were providing quite the screen here for Che. And that's why Douglas's wrister was able to kind of get through everybody in a great little release. A little bit of a high arcing floater. And Che barely moved. Mentioned it, USA. Very versatile. Their defensemen love to get involved. Their defensemen love to shoot the puck as well. And they got goals all over the roster here today. And it's always a good feeling for everybody to be involved in a big output like this.
It's the seventh different goal scorer for the Americans here in the hockey game. Dong-Shin Chan starting the breakout for Korea. Pass ahead for Byung-Sok Cho, just out of his reach. The Americans, Noah Grove, dropping it off. Joshua Mitchwitz, reverse direction with pressure from Chung Young Lee. Up ahead, that pass was behind Grove. Racing after it is Young Sung Kim for Korea. Now broken up, Farmer right in. Lets a little wrister go on goal. And lets the Korean goaltender cover up.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Declan Farmer was doing, but you got to look at Moose Jaw Events Center. If you're unaware, Moose Jaw, about 40 minutes drive west of the provincial capital of the province of Saskatchewan in Canada, a prairie province in the middle of the country, known for potash mining, known for lots of agriculture, of course. And the great Darren Dupont.
Yep. Yes, lots of great commodities.
Yeah, potash and Darren Dupont. Yeah.
Yes, Saskatchewan, Canada, and the prairie provinces here in what's not the Great White North right now. Beautiful hot late spring days. As Christopher Douglas now goes D to D for Jack Wallace. Long shot through. And that was stopped by Shea. Bolton trying to find that puck and cover it up. So we'll get another face-off with 3:48 to go in the period. Again, next up, Korea, a little bit of a break as they wrap up the round-robin play this afternoon. Thursday's a day off for everybody, and they'll await their quarterfinal opponent on Friday.
Yeah, dramatic shootout win for Italy this morning. Keep the Italians' hopes alive. China is in first in that group. Germany in second after their upset win over Norway to start the tournament. And then Italy now on 2 points in third. So kind of come down to the last day, especially for that second spot with the Chinese looking good to win the group and get that quote-unquote easier quarterfinal. But should be an interesting final day here at the Para World Hockey Championship here in Moose Jaw.
Oh, big collision in the corner. McKee was involved. We got more of it happening now between McKee and Jung as they exchanged words. Physical play ramping up here. Puck comes to Travis Dodson at the right point. Dodson down to the corner. Another hit on McKee. Again, Young-Soon Kim with a check there on Kevin McKee. Now a penalty call coming. Paul's at the blue line. It's a delayed call against the Koreans, and now they'll touch the puck. And we'll get the call as he rifled the puck towards Declan Farmer.
Yeah, the Americans didn't like that after Byung-Seok Cho wired it at Josh Pauls right after the whistle. Here's a nice big hit coming into your living room right there. Kevin McKee in his 7th World Championship says, hey, the Koreans are known for physicality. How about we take a look at this? And then a little, what's the technical term for that? A little after the whistle, maybe some frustration. That's what we'll call it from the Koreans. But they've competed in this one, there's no question. And the game has really flowed. I think Matt Fergenbaum and his staff have really let a lot go as well.
So the American power play is 0 for 1 in the hockey game. Their second opportunity, now 1 for 2 in the tournament. Back to Jack Wallace. Waits, protects the puck, plays it off the end boards. Bishwitz down low for Farmer. Pass out in front. Jones, Malik Jones for Jack Wallace. Wallace down low for Declan Farmer. Out there with Joshua Miechwitz as well. Back up to Farmer. For Malik Jones. Jones takes a little bit of pressure on a bump from Kung Moon Shin. At the line in front for Farmer. Deflected into the corner in front of Shin. Jones now with pressure from Shin. Drops it off. It's right behind Kung Moon Shin. Around the wall. Americans are changing. That was close, and yes, they will. They'll call him. Too many. Confusion on the line change. Needed to let that puck go. Instead, played it before the change had happened, and we'll play 4-on-4 with 1:41 to go in the period.
Yeah, a little bit of open ice here, 4-on-4, as the Americans will send Brendan Adam to the box to serve, the Colorado native. It's his first World Championships, even though he's a 1985 birth year. And the Americans have such an advantage in that they have such great infrastructure with their league. If they're an injured veteran of the U.S. military, they get so much funding and shepherded right into these para-sport programs to add value to their lives. And they do such a wonderful job with USA Hockey in so many ways. And another example, Brendan Adam comes to this national team late in the game. Colorado Avalanche forward, getting a chance to wear his country's color is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Absolutely. Anytime you can put on your country's uniform. Great honor. And I know all of these players here in Moose Jaw don't take that lightly. Minute 20 to go in the second period. 4-on-4 now. See if a little extra room out there can help out the Koreans and they can start to open things up. They'll send it forward. Jack Wallace will hold that puck and send it in. Dong-Shin Chan on it first for Korea. Drops it behind the net for Soon Hung Jin. Round the wall, they'll clear it out. Wallace back after it for the Americans. Korea had 3 great chances, 3 shots on goal early in this second period. Since then, just a single shot. Hard check from Jones on Dong-Shin Chan in the corner, and Shan slow to leave the corner as we get an icing or an offside call here right at the USA blue line. Physical play really picking up and a big hit in the corner.
Yeah, the Americans coming and hitting. They didn't like some of the after the whistle stuff that the Koreans have started to get involved with, and the big time leader for the USA, or for the USA, big part of that. But there's Brett Bolton. Darren, he just turned 17 years old. Plays for the Space Coast Blast. That's probably my favorite team name on Team USA, the Space Coast Blast. And this kid just turned 17, an 06 birth year at his first Worlds. And happy birthday. Come to Moose Jaw, play for USA. Pretty cool.
Why not? There's a shot and a glove stop by Griffin Lemaire. His best of the hockey game is Soon Hung Jung. Walked right in, and Lemaire stands tall.
Big smile on the face of the Massachusetts native in his first World Championship as well.
Oh, yeah.
What goalie doesn't love a big rainbow in the glove? What goalie doesn't?
Flashy stuff. Good save. 40 minutes in the books. Game 2 of the day here in Moose Jaw. Korea in tough, but hanging in there. Griffin Lemaire, a big stop late. And the American offense continues to roll. 9-0 after 30 minutes of play. The third period still to come from the World Para Ice Hockey Championships in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Like a mirrored reflection, I have to steer you in the right direction. I have to trust that we can find a way.
On every trip, you can depend on Esso to be the place between places, connecting you to what's next.
Good morning! So I got another Parkson ticket. Play 92, number 1 for throwbacks.
It's Connor for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming, GEO satellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask? Hello? Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do? Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
In his first Paralympic Games for Canada. Here comes James Dunn with his first Paralympic goal. Like he's been doing it all his life.
Inside the Moose Jaw Events Center, it is day 3 of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships here in Canada. And after 2 periods of play in the middle game of the day, the U.S. all over Korea 9-0. Tonight will be Canada and Czechia as we welcome you back upstairs to our broadcast location, Jamie. And for Canada, as they try and, look ahead a little bit to tomorrow night's clash with the Americans, what do they need to accomplish in their second from last round-robin game?
You know what? It gets a lot harder for Canada, let's be honest, tonight. The Czechians are not going to be any kind of light touch, Darren. They've continued to get better. They've been gritty and hard to play against at this tournament. And if Canada wants to prove that the program's on the right path with their new head coach, of course, he was their assistant for years, but the new head coach, they're going to have to make a performance tonight because the Czechs are no pushover. They've been tough to play against. Don't let the score against the USA fool you. Canada has to show something tonight. We're going to see what happens, though. It'll be fun.
Forget about the scores. 2 games in, 7-1, now 9-0 for the Americans. Are you seeing enough out of the Americans that tells you they're still the best team here, the best team in the world?
Yes, and a big reason why I say that is because they understand that tournaments like this are about getting better every single game, and they were better in these two periods, than they were in their game against Czechia to start the tournament for the Americans. And as you'll see in the highlight pack that's coming up here, their chemistry is right on. They're finding each other. They're moving without the puck. That's the name of the game for hockey. As you see right there, Eustace moving without the puck, trusting his teammate will find him, and he was able to smoothly go in alone and score a shorthanded goal. The only special teams goal in the game, in fact, was that shorthanded goal by Eustace of Team USA. And they are a confident team, saw a lot of smiles, having a lot of fun, a lot of puck movement, puck hardly out of the USA zone, and forced a goaltender change as Daihan Pung was pulled. This goal, Darren, a little controversial. We thought Malik Jones went hard into the goaltender there, Pung, and that left the net wide open for Mr. Declan Farmer to put it in. But the referee, Matt Fergenbaum, called it a good goal, and then Declan Farmer started to get his mojo going, a bullet with the left hand. You saw the Korean defender attack him, try to block that right-handed shot, looking number 20, go right at him, and he decided to go, hey, you know what, you're going to come at my right hand, I'm going to shoot with my left. That was Byung-Suk Cho who went right at him, and Farmer said, okay, I can bullet with my left, no problem. And Team USA there got their mojo going, continued to go. A good shot from the point right there by Christopher Douglas in his 5th out of Florida. Right arm, talked about the prominence of the game in Florida, and the Americans doing a great job in all the states getting guys from all over the United States. And Darren, the Americans so impressive again here today.
You look at those numbers, 11 shots on goal for the Americans. Korea much better in that second period. 5 shots on goal. They had 3 of them early. They were actually out shooting the Americans 3-1 early, had a good chance in a power play. They were still on the power play, but the Eustace shorthanded goal really disrupted all the Korean momentum.
And that all being said, to have periods of play where the Koreans were feeling good, getting into the American zone, that was a step up, I think, from their performance against Canada last night. Big crowd here for the Canadian game. A lot of emotions running high. First game, of course, for Canada at home for a World Para Hockey Championships. And I think the Koreans were a little overwhelmed. They've played their game a lot more. One thing I've liked from the Korean game, Darren, they have hit. They are a team that is known for being physical, and they followed that game plan as well as they could so far today.
Young-Sung Kim was onto the puck inside the Korean zone. It's cleared down the ice. This will be an icing call. Just 21 seconds into this third period. So the USA will wrap up their round-robin play tomorrow. Korea wraps up their round-robin play tonight, or this afternoon in this game against the Americans. And all of a sudden, 3 days in, feels like we're early in the tournament, but we're going to be into the day off and into the playoffs before we know it.
Yeah, it all happens fast, and the quarterfinal matchups really up in the air, especially with that Italian shootout win over Germany. Might have had it more wrapped up if the Germans had won.
Delayed penalty call here as Young-Sung Kim touches the puck for Korea. It'll be an American power play, and their third power play here of the hockey game. Just caught him with the front of the sled, but
yeah, here's a textbook T right here coming up as Young-Sung Kim went hard into Brandon Adam. And yeah, pretty textbook teeing. You can't go feet first into a guy in para hockey, and the U.S. power play will put a bit of a younger group out there. Talked about the 17-year-old Bolton.
So now back at the blue line. The power play goes to work. A dangerous one. Noah Grove. It's a down low for Brandon Adam, who walks out. Shot on goal. Blocked by Intul Yu. Douglas. Down low for Grove. Now in front. Nichols will get to the rebound in the high slot. Makes a move and puts it into the right wing corner through the slot. Nobody was there. On it, Adam. Back up top. Josh Pauls, patient. Pauls. Adam was circling. Drops it off for Bolton. Brett Bolton. Looking at options. Tried to center it. It was behind Adam. Oh, covered up by the goaltender for a second, but it was poked free. Hyuk Jun Chae couldn't get to it and cover it cleanly in the Korean goal. Now Grove for Bolton. Bolton turns, fires off the outside of the goal post. Grove is there for Adam. Adam off the side of Jang Ho Hyung. Now Bolton in the corner for Adam. Adam up top for Pauls. Josh Pauls. Faked a pass, hung onto the puck for Adam. Brandon Adams shoots, and he missed it high and wide. Nichols now from out of the corner. Evan Nichols, drop pass for Bolton. Brett Bolton has Adam circling the net. Pass up top for Wallace. Jack Wallace now. Wallace waiting, being pressured there by Ye Ha-shong. Jack Wallace still on it. He's working the entire offensive zone. The Koreans are back to even strength as the power play has expired. Americans now 0 for 3 on the power play. So this Korea penalty kill has been a bright spot this afternoon.
Yeah, really well organized, much more organized. Canada had a big 5 for 6 on the power play yesterday.
Soon Hyung Jung in a race for it. And then a collision back of the American Good goal from David Eustace. Wallace down the left wing now. Skating with speed. And knocked off the puck by Dong Shin Chan. Puck comes out of the neutral zone. Again, Jung with Douglas corralling the loose puck and playing it down the ice. Does this have enough to go for icing? And it will. So we'll get a face-off back down inside the American zone.
And here we are in Moose Jaw. You see the tunnels of Moose Jaw advertisement, and of course that refers to in the 1920s during the Prohibition era. There was rumors that the great American gun and alcohol runner Al Capone used Moose Jaw and its tunnels as a place to store merchandise and make sales and whatnot. Not sure whether Al Capone was ever actually here in Moose Jaw, but certainly there was some Prohibition era stuff going on around here in Moose Jaw, and that's why it's called the Notorious City in some people's minds. Pretty interesting history, though.
A very historic city. And of course Al Capone was in Moose Jaw. That's why it's called Canada's Notorious City. It is a treat to come and visit the community, and for those coming from all across the world, getting a chance to tour around, and you see the different tunnels and tours that can be taken here. A very historic downtown.
They have some great actors, let me tell you. The actors in the tunnel tour there for the Al Capone tunnel, awesome.
When's the last time you've been on the tour? Has it been a little while? A
couple of years, but it was great performance.
Chance now for the Americans. But a good defensive play by Soon Hyun Jung of the Koreans on the back check. Now Mishwitz for Josh Pauls. Pauls in front for Jones. He couldn't take the pass cleanly. Malik Jones circling up top, and that was off the end of the stick of Declan Farmer. He couldn't keep the puck in the zone. Now Grove has Farmer circling in the neutral zone and finds him at center, and he'll just send that puck in and head off on a line change. In the right wing corner, more pressure from the Americans. Joshua Mitchwitz. Now Brandon Adam. Adam made one little move and has time. Dribbles it towards the net, and that was stopped by Shea. And Hyuk Jun Shea will hang on and cover up. So Korea holding in there defensively, and the penalty kill strong. 3 for 3 for Korea here in the third period.
Like he's been doing it all his life.
It's the final game of the round robin for Korea here, and they've drawn the #1 team in the world, the USA. But still, the faithful are here, and they'll get some time off, maybe a chance to tour around. They'll have Wednesday and Thursday off completely. So a chance to see the sights here in southern Saskatchewan before a quarterfinal matchup on Friday. Korea keeping the Americans off the scoreboard here in the third period. But having a little trouble getting the offense going. Jack Wallace couldn't take the pass cleanly. Now the Koreans are away. In Kung Kim Got it inside the zone. Brett Bolton for the Americans. He'll circle behind his own goal for Wallace on the breakout. Wallace, long feed. That was just out of the reach of Christopher Douglas. Douglas giving chase. Jong Ho Chan played it to the blue line, but not out. It's kept in by Jones. Tied up along the wall again. Chong with some support from In Kong Kim, and it's picked up. McKee for the Americans in the corner. McKee to the line for Grove. Noah Grove. Nifty stick handling. Dropping the puck off. Dodson through the zone. Turns back now. Travis Dodson, one of the leaders on this American team. Still tied up in the corner. Josh Pauls, David Eustace. Pauls waits across for Dodson. He'll turn back. Travis Dodson of the Nashville Sled Preds. Now for Noah Grove. Grove for Josh Pauls. Pauls in the corner. Good pressure. In Chun Yu trying to get that puck free. Won't be able to. As the Americans have the cycle going, they'll flip it into the corner now for Malik Jones. He'll turn, being watched by Jong Ho Chong. Back up to the blue line, Jack Wallace. 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go here in the third period. And then the nightcap. Canada and Czechia as Douglas for Mitchwitz to the blue line. Douglas for Malik Jones. Into the corner for Declan Farmer, who's got 3 in the afternoon. He'll play this towards the goal. That was knocked away with a glove from Hyuk Jun Shea. And the Korean netminder will hang on and cover up for a stoppage.
And I promised Darren and the team in general, the production crew, I wouldn't talk about soccer too much, but I have to mention everybody that was in the soccer world cheering for the Koreans at the Qatar 2022 World Cup, knocking off the Germans. And of course, Son Heung-min doing such a great job, and his team with the Korean national team loves soccer, and certainly Korea, a country on the rise, still alive in the U20 World Cup going on right now as well in Argentina. And great time for sports just in general in Korea. And this para team trying to make some damage here.
Bolton back in the American zone here. Inside 6.5 minutes to go in this third period. Long shot in. Here's a chance for the Koreans, and unable to corral that was Sun Hyun Jung. He were right in front of the slot. Tried to spin it around, but the puck just slipped off the end of his stick. Now a long shot in. And that was taken cleanly from the goaltender, Griffin Lemaire. Lemaire hasn't been busy, but he's been sharp when called upon. Now the Americans away. Evan Nichols dropping it off for Josh Pauls. Pauls to the back door for Grove. Grove to the middle for Adam, and a shot stopped by Shea. Koreans will just clear the zone out to center ice.
I really think Dae Ho Kim's got to be happy. One thing that really killed the Koreans against Canada yesterday was there was a lot of offense on the rush for Canada, transition opportunities and moments. Yes, the Americans have had a lot of zone time, but it's off the cycle in the zone, and the Koreans 4 or 5 man units playing defense together as opposed to 3-on-0s and 3-on-1s and 2-on-1s that Canada had a lot of. So I think that's a big improvement as well, just structurally, organization-wise for Korea as they get ready for their quarterfinal.
Eustace now for McKee. Back down low for Dodson. There's a hard check in the corner. The Koreans, Chung Young Lee, couldn't get the puck cleanly, though, to start a breakout after making the hit. Now Eustace takes a little bit of a bump from Sun Hyun Jung. Now long feed. Zhang racing after it with Farmer. Sun Young Zhang taking the wide path. Gets the check and the puck. Had it for a second before McKee came in and stripped it free. Koreans are applying a little bit of pressure. Jung Ho Shang there on the back check. Now in the corner, Intul Yu. Taking a bit of a bump as we've reached the final 4 minutes here of the third period. Joshua Mishwitz to the line for Pauls. Down low, Farmer circling now, picking up the puck. Chance in front. Mishwitz was circling the wrong way on the feed from Malik Jones. Now Farmer has Pauls with him. Pauls tried to send it across for Jones and Hyuk Jun Choi. What a great job of the goaltender coming out and snagging that cross ice pass for the stoppage. Now the defense coming alive here in the third period on a great day at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships in Moose Jaw.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming, Geo satellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask?
Hello?
Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do?
And there is David Hoff, the head coach of Team USA, and I spoke to him before the tournament, as I mentioned, and he and Russ Harrington, the Canadian coach, both were talking about really wanting their teams to improve defensively, to be harder to play against. Of course, I guess the offense is fine, given that the Americans have scored 16 now in 2 games, and Canada scored 15 in 1, so they weren't too worried maybe about their ability to score. But they both talked about a desire to be harder to play against, to be structurally more sound in the D zone. That's what they were working on in practice heading into this Worlds, and hard to argue that as well. I guess Canada only gave up 1, and the USA has only given up 1 in 2 games now as well. So guess mission accomplished so far.
Something's got to give tomorrow night.
We'll find out, yeah.
When the Americans and Canadians meet, as a long shot in was stopped by Hyuk Jun Choi. But the Koreans doing a real great job defensively, and I'm noticing they're finding something here on the long, hard clear-out pass and chase. They're maybe finding some room here as they try and break free and break free and get on the board.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, the Koreans were really trying to support each other well, move the puck up with short passes, a little bit more controlled breakouts. But stretching the zone a little bit, helping the Koreans, as you said, spread yourself out so that the Americans can have to spread out a little bit more themselves. And also just relieve some pressure, because the puck just being only in the Korean zone is going to be exhausting for your team to just play defense constantly. So at least get the puck out, relieve some of that pressure, and take a little bit of a deep breath, reset, and maybe the Americans can make a mistake or two. They're human beings too. And you're right, the Koreans have played a very solid structural game, and I think Daehyun Kim will have lots of positives for his team to talk about going into the quarterfinal.
Intul Yu got a good look at the Korean defenseman. Has been on the ice a lot in this game. Let's see if they can find some offense here in the late stages. Kung Moon Shin helps get that puck in deep. And Jack Wallace turning back after it for the Americans. Has had an excellent afternoon, as Wallace has. Real catalyst for this American offense. As Adam, right into the slot, waits, now shoots, and he lifts it high over top of the net. Wallace again. So strong on the puck, now into the slot. Looking for an outlet. Back door. And Brandon Adam had it go right underneath him. Check along the wall by In Kung Kim. As Adam has Dodson with a little drop pass. Dodson in front for Adam. A shot stopped by Shea. And he'll hang on as the Americans with some pressure. But another great save.
Yeah, Che's done a good job in relief of Pong, just like Pong did, but great feed through the seam. You talked about Wallace being so strong on the puck. The New Jersey native defenseman loves to jump into the play and protects the puck well. And when you can protect pucks well, that draws one or two defensemen to you. That means your teammate is more open. And Brendan Adam was open back door if he tried to find him through the seam, but just missed. Great job by the replay people there as he could see Wallace's eyes as he was not looking at Adam. Great no-look pass, too, attempted, but just missed that empty net.
Icing call here against the Koreans as we're inside the final 90 seconds this afternoon. Earlier today, it was an Italian win over Germany in a shootout. Both of those teams now 1-1. The difference, though, a Germany regulation win over Norway in day one leaves them with 4 points to go along with the shootout loss. The Italians, a loss and a shootout win, sitting with 2 points. So both teams 1-1, but Germany the edge in the standings.
Michael Stilitano, the 53-year-old goalie for the Italians with the shutout. Spectacular this morning for the Italians, keeping them alive. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I love to see that. The Germans are a spirited group too. So we know Canada and the U.S. sitting at the top, but when you start looking at Germany and Italy and Norway, China, the middle gets pretty jammed up as Hyuk-Jun Che with another glove save in the final minute.
What a beautiful save that was. I think Brandon Adams a little frustrated, had a couple chances to score as you look at him right there. The Colorado native, what a bullet this is through a crowd and maybe going wide, but Che's not to know that. Just a torpedo with 4 white jerseys around him, and Che had to navigate a bunch of distraction in front of him to make that save.
Now at the blue line, Nichols trying to go back door. This would be a small in-game victory for the Koreans if they can keep the Americans off the board the rest of the way and keep them off the board in the period, as Hyuk-Jun Che with another stop in a great position, and they're 22 seconds away from being able to, you know, draw even in the period with the Americans, and that's a big step for a growing para hockey program.
Yeah, as I said, they're structurally been very good. They've made some adjustments that you pointed out, Darren. Try to stretch the zone a little bit instead of chasing as a 5-man pack.
Another big stop. Steered into the corner by Shea. Final 10 seconds. Can they clear the zone? Jack Wallace will keep it in. Long shot. That was blocked on the way through. Now you're getting a team effort here trying to keep them off the board, and they'll be able to do it. The Americans put on 9 goals in the first 40 minutes and rolled to that 9-0 win over Korea. But you see some growth from the Korean team hanging in that third period, keeping the Americans off the board. They went 3 for 3 on the penalty kill as well. And so for Korea, the round robin comes to a close as they await a quarterfinal opponent on Friday. And for the Americans, one final tune-up before the playoffs. Canada in prime time on Wednesday night.
You know what? The Americans are just starting to turn the screws, starting to hit the next gear. They haven't gotten out of first or second gear. Hat-trick from Declan Farmer, the legend, the living legend that he is in this one. A couple beautiful goals. Americans with a lot of chemistry showing in this one, and you said it right. The Koreans, just like the Americans, just like Canada, they want to keep getting better. As you get a look at Declan Farmer, the Florida native. He said he hasn't lived in Florida for about a decade, but he's very impressive talent. And as you mentioned, the Koreans getting better, and especially in their own zone, they got to hang their hat on being hard to score against. Very, very interesting to see who the player of the game for Korea is.
Yeah, just the one shot on goal in the third period for Korea, but it was a good one. Some chances, just unable to find the back of the net. As we're into the post-game ceremonies, and we will get to our player of the game presentations and wrap up our afternoon coverage with the American national anthem. We have the customary exchange of a gift from the host committee and the organizing committee to the players of the game from each team.
Saskatchewan, Canada. The awards will be presented by Randy Palmer, senior sports reporter for the Moose Jaw Express and Moose Jaw Today, and Julie Saby, game doctor. The best player of Team Korea is number 20, Jang Dong-shin.
It was a physical effort. Great job defensively. And, of course, one of the defensemen for Korea is going to be their player of the game.
Absolutely. And you know what? He's their captain. He plays a lot. He blocks a lot of shots, and he loves to hit.
The best player of Team USA is number 16, Declan Farmer.
Yeah, Farmer had the hat trick, leading the Americans as you would expect.
Yeah, the hat trick, four now in the tournament, 138 career USA goals, which is the most goals out of anybody in international hockey in the history of para ice hockey. And he's got it all going on. He's just getting started, Darren. Canada better get ready. He's got some swagger to his game.
Does he ever? And that's a great shot right there. Your players of the game. Declan Farmer and the Korean captain Dong-shin Chen. We'll wrap up the afternoon, the American national anthem, and then we'll turn our attention to tonight.
Please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Team USA.
The USA victorious here this afternoon over Korea. Tonight, the Canadians are back on home ice as they'll take on Czechia in the final game on day 3 here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. So until then, On behalf of our entire production team, for Jamie Neugebauer, I'm Darren DuPont. Good afternoon from Moose Jaw, and we'll see you tonight for Canada and Czechia.